What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 2 in my 13th annual 31 Days of Horror, a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October. And for today's review, I jumped from 1959 all the way to present day with a film titled Night Swim from the year 2024. So this film was released like the second day of 2024. So I think January 2nd was the release. As we know, horror fans, that January is often considered a dump month for studios. So movies that they're not very confident in but need to be released, January is sometimes where they land, because not a lot of people are going out to the cinemas in January for whatever reason. Maybe it's the cold weather, at least on the East Coast, or maybe it's it's just getting their bearings on the year, not really doing much. But for whatever reason, January has been considered dump month. Now, there have been good movies that have come out in January. This is not one of them. It is not. So, let's see. Where do we start with this? So, first of all, this is a Blumhouse film. And Blumhouse is known for different things. They have some really solid work, like Sinister, Insidious, the Paranormal Activity franchise. But they also have a lot of filler, like horror filler, like just stuff that fills the gaps in the years. Usually PG-13, spooky stuff for teenager. Like like this film feels like it was made for like 12, 13-year-olds, right? And also I believe it is James Wan's studio produced this as well. I did read that this was based on a short film, which totally makes sense, because throughout years we've seen short films get turned into feature films. I think Blumhouse did another one. Was it Lights Out? I can't remember. And then I think, wasn't Clown with Eli Roth a short film? Terrifier, Art the Clown, short film, expanded into feature, blah, blah. We know it's possible. A film like this, I think, probably shouldn't have been expanded. So let's go ahead and get into the actual plot of the movie. It's pretty simple. Basically, it opens up with a pool where, in 1992, where a girl disappears. Then we flash forward to present day, and Wyatt Russell, I forget the father's name, but he was a Major League Baseball player who has a degenerative disease called multiple sclerosis, MS, if you will, and they move into a new house. This new house has a pool. The pool is supposed to be good for physical therapy, so he begins to use the pool, but the pool is evil. It also is self-sustaining because of an underground spring. I don't know. And turns out this underground spring is like sort of this ancient healing grounds. So he begins to heal, and his multiple sclerosis improves greatly. So he becomes sort of addicted to going into the pool, but it's healing him, but there's some consequences, because it's also an evil pool, because the healing spring needs live souls to, it doesn't really say that, but it basically needs sacrifices to, balance the healing power, so it starts targeting his kids. That's basically the plot. The mom digs into the backstory, finds out that this pool there's been disappearances at this pool for generations and stuff. But the pool looks like kind of modern too, so it's like, I don't know, it's like kind of weird. It kind of is like just silly, right? Like a haunted pool. This movie should have been called Amityville Pool, right? There's like a million Amityville films made Like, this should have been Amityville Pool, because it felt like that. Even, like, the way the father sort of, like, starts turning and stuff, it feels like Amityville. I think that this movie just, oh my god, it's actually, like, a little painful to watch. I'm not gonna lie, I barely ever do this, but I got to about 30 minutes left, and I put it on 1.5 speed because I couldn't take the movie anymore. I just was so uninterested in it. This is one of the worst theatrical movies I've seen in quite some time. I think, like, thinking back, like, one of the worst was probably, like, Slender Man. Firestarter I really hated. There was a few others, but this is Imaginary from this year, so yeah, this year has been rough for January, because I think Imaginary came out in January too. But Night Swim, also freaking Blumhouse, man. Blumhouse is, like, so hit and miss, but I don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one, like, a solid... Is 3 too low? Is 3 too low? Okay, here's why. There's, like, no... Like, everything's PG. The jump scares, like, and I'm a sucker for jump scares. I love jump scares. But the jump scares suck. There's a couple cool scenes. Like, in concept, the Marco Polo scene in the pool is pretty cool. But it's shot so... like, the script is, like, so bad in that moment, because... Like, the girl just keeps, like... She's getting freaked out, but she keeps her eyes closed. I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. Nobody would do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just open their eyes. There's a pretty creepy scene with, like, the... I forget what that thing's called, but it's, like, the filter or whatever, where the water goes in a little hole and stuff. That's probably it, really. I don't know, man. 3.5 out of 10. I'll go there. Very, very, very disappointing movie. I would have... They should have made it... They should have added, like, some kills or something. I don't know, man. Like, maybe the water gets, like, real hot and, like, boils someone alive. Like, that would be cool, right? Or, like, how else can you die in a pool? Drown. No, I'm kidding. Alright, anyway, that's day 2. We'll see you in day 3. Peace.